Benedetta Chacha, Richard Ellery.
As Britain remembers the names of the 52 victims of 7/7, their families gather at the permanent memorial dedicated to them. Their deaths represented the first major attack on British soil by British-born militants. It was during rush hour when they unleashed a series of coordinated suicide bombs on 3 underground trains and a bus. The violence shocked the city and forced authorities to reassess the threat facing the country. In 2013, that understanding changed again when 2 Muslim converts murdered British soldier Lee Rigby in London in broad daylight. They said they wanted to avenge the killing of Muslims by the British Armed Forces. Security services altered their tactics once more, but attacks are increasingly harder to track and to stop.
The threat we face today is very different. It's not simply a tight organisation plotting terrorist attacks as we used to see. You've now got organisations that are using propaganda to try and radicalise others and create a violent cult across the world.
Regular drills like this, authorities say, help hone their response. Since 7/7, there have been no mass casualty attacks in the UK, but some 40 plots have been uncovered. Today, the threat level in Britain stands at severe, meaning an attack is highly likely. And the emergence of Islamic State in Iraq and the Levant has added a new dimension to the challenge. Helping the police with that challenge is Miqdad Versi, whose organisation tries to discourage extremism.
Radicalisation takes place through many different means, not just from this sort of conveyor belt theory of becoming more religious and what is so-called non-violent extremists, then becoming a violent extremist. We think that there are multiple different mechanisms of radicalisation.
Here at the memorial service, British royalty has joined the families of the victims, survivors and some of the emergency workers who were first on the scene that day. There's talk of promoting the values of tolerance and respect, but 10 years after the tragedy, the threat of attacks is still evolving and often hard to anticipate. Charlie Angela, Al Jazeera, London.